She just happened.
This morning.
Grant, you're going to have to go ahead and get out because you.
Nice stretcher. You want to get the door for us there, please? Does somebody have the radiographs for me to look at?
We were in such a hurry when we left there, we forgot, and we're going to go right back and get them right now.
Okay. Okay. Now, has she been snapping at folks?
I'm not sure. She hasn't been with the muzzle off.
Okay, that's okay, Alexis. Yeah, okay, sweetie. Let's see here. Was somebody on their way to go get those? Yeah. It may be faster for me to just take new ones. Commenting about here is the heart to fall away from where its normal anatomic position should be. That's indicative of a collapsed lung. We shouldn't have this space. First thing we've done here is we did prep a spot and place a needle into the chest, a chest drain, and you can see we've removed a lot of that air. It was mixed with some blood. There is some free blood within the chest cavity as well. But all in here, I'm looking at bruised, contused lungs from the trauma that's happened. And it's my opinion that we are not a surgical candidate as we are here right now. We're going to stabilize the bandage that wasn't on the leg, really supporting that fracture, so we're going to get that taken care of. We're going to maintain pain management, keep us on antibiotics, and we're going to be monitoring this situation with the chest to make sure we're not refilling with air inside of our chest.
Is that life-threatening injury?
It can be if it persists. If we have lung damage enough that keeps allowing this air to leak, then it can be, and it may require us having to place a chest tube. If you watch any of the medical shows, they're always talking about, let's get it, we got to get a chest tube in, and that's right, in order to reinflate lungs and so that the body can oxygenate itself properly.
So you can't operate on the limbs.
The legs, there's no emergency fracture repair unless maybe we're talking about a caved-in skull. Okay, we can live with our legs in a splint or a support right now. We would need to make sure that cardiovascular and respiration, those are tantamount to life. Right. I mean, we have to have those functions. And right now, putting the dog under an anesthesia for what could be, if we try doing both of these at the same time, a couple hours of surgery, I think it would be too much. I worry about blood clots, I worry about poor oxygenation, not perfusing the tissues well enough, and those are all more important than stabilizing that leg is right now.
Okay.
So that will happen when things are right for it to happen. And even then, it's no guarantee, but right now, it's my opinion that we shouldn't proceed.
Okay. We can't thank you enough for helping out here and your expertise. I know the family appreciates it, and I do too also.
Yeah, well,
we all love dogs, and a lot of people are coming together to help this dog out.
That's great. That's great.
A real lot of people, and we really want to thank you.
My pleasure.
Really
I just hope that we can put her all back together and see her running again.
If everything does work out and you do fix the legs, how long will it take for the dog to be able to walk
her
normally?
age, well, sometimes with the way these fractures look and what I am anticipating will be her repair method, she may be walking on them within just a few days after surgery, if not the next day.
Next day?
Some of them, when we plate a leg, oftentimes they'll bear weight on it and walk on them the next day. The fracture of the humerus, I think, is one that we can get together with a very stable repair as well. And we just did this almost exact same fracture a week ago, and that dog was walking on it the next day. In fact, it came in very similarly. Pneumothorax, fractured humerus, did not have the fractured back end. I am going to try and get some additional I'm going to look at the x-rays that you brought over here. As I was working with her, she seems unusually painful in the opposite back leg, and I want to make sure there's nothing going on. I have to look at the x-rays they did and then decide if I need to take more of that leg.
Okay, but if everything works out correctly, the dog will have a normal life.
I would think so. Joints at this point look okay. I don't see any damage to the joints. I'm a little concerned about a hip joint. It's not in this x-ray here, but I'm worried that this one could be dislocated, meaning the right rear. I'm suspicious that it might be dislocated at the hip, which will require having to put that in as well.
All right.
Leg fracture that's very evident.
Wow.
We've got a little piece. I wasn't real eager trying to get the front leg, but we can see where the fracture is right here in the humerus. This area should be over here. And we have a little fragment from the fracture right here. But we have other x-rays from the Morris Veterinary Clinic's office that have that for us. Okay?
Doctor, what's the name of your Pine Bluff?
This is the Pine Bluff Animal Hospital.
You're located, this is actually Morris.
This is Morris, Illinois. We're 8 miles out of town, but it's still Morris.
Okay. Thank you so much for everything. We really appreciate it. Okay, Marilyn, it's been a tough few days for you. Your dog got struck by a police car, correct?
Yes.
Talk as loud as you can. What would you like to say? We started a thing on a couple websites. We've got a lot of people that are donating, calling in with credit card numbers to help you out because you've done so much for the firefighters in our area. So what would you like to say to these people that are, coming out of that we don't know, that are willing to spend their money to help your dog?
Thank you very much. Any donation is helpful. Anything. We just don't have the money. It's been a crazy year for everybody. Of course, it's hard for everybody right now, but basically the love that you've shown and all the donations so far have been very helpful.
For the Kolthoff family, your husband's a firefighter, your son's a firefighter, and you're also a photographer for the Dwight Fire Department.
Yes.
So 3 family members. The department is all volunteer, correct?
Yes.
So you don't. Everything you do when you get a call is you don't get paid for it.
No. Volunteer.
Volunteer. Okay. What can people do to help you?
Call this
help Alexis.
Call this phone number here on the sign, 942-5365. 815-942-5365. And they are taking credit card over the phone. You can send in checks to here. You can stop by and pay cash. Anything right now is helpful, and we so much appreciate everything everybody's doing for us.
And what do you expect the final vet bill to be for this?
In the upwards of $4,000.
And a lot of people may ask the question, and I also ask the question, if the dog got struck by a police car, why is the police department not helping with the financial cost of that?
We haven't really spoken too much with them. They know that the dog was injured. They thought the dog had actually passed away that night. So the police officer that accidentally hit her hasn't been on call. So I don't know how to get a hold of him to let him know what's all going on. But basically, we're just trying to do this on our own to try and get Alexis taken care of.
Right.
Yeah.
And one last thing, was that police officer going to a call, or was he just driving down the road?
No, he's just driving.
And can you just briefly explain what happened? How the dog got hit?
She got out the back door accidentally, and she was just running. She doesn't get outside a whole lot because they don't have a fenced-in backyard yet, and she just happened to get off the leash and ran. So
that's why they call it an accident.
Yeah.
And that doctor seems like he knows what he's talking about. So hopefully
Yeah.
he's gonna she's in good hands now.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate everybody, every donation.
I know you do. All right, love you.
Love you.